Hello and welcome to the Wavy Tunnel Pro Roadmap, a 2023 look at the MAMAA stocks. This is the February 21st update. My name is Jody Samuels and I'm going to take you through some stocks to follow up on our last update. The disclaimer is important to read. You can lose money trading, and if you cannot afford to lose money, you should not be trading. So remember to practice with a demo or paper trading account with any new concept or strategy until you really understand the risk and reward potential of the strategy. Okay, MAMAA, a Wavy Tunnel Pro roadmap approach, looking at these stocks on the right. But on the left, we have a little diagram with 5 waves up followed by a 3-wave correction. And this is where the breakout 4 trade triggers at the end of the wave C correction, right over here. It's saying this is potentially a bottom and we could rally off of this point. So now let's have a look, starting before we get into these stocks, let's look at the QQQs. The way our system works, at the end of a 5-wave sequence, we have a purple dot. You can't really see the purple dot up here. And then we have the correction and we have the gray dot. So the gray dot first appeared over here and we had a nice rally, and then it appeared down here, and we are in the process of rallying. Now let's look at the daily from this gray dot, which is this gray purple dot, and try to analyze it a little bit further. This move up was very, very choppy, ending diagonal style for this wave C, a nice 3-wave move, and then we had a strong move down. Usually when you have an ending diagonal like that, you do come down to the base of it, and that's exactly what we did. And then we didn't make a new low, and we had a nice strong impulsive move up to where we see another gray dot. The scanner shows the gray dot. This is the ready. This is telling us the market is ready to be sold. And then the way we signal it with the red arrow is when price closes below the filter line. You certainly get notified when you have the gray dot ready. So now we are in a corrective move. I like to see us moving down into the wave in the tunnel right over here. So I don't think we're going to go too much further. I think we're going to have some consolidation in the wave, and then price will probably move back up again. Let's look at the SPY. So same story with the SPY. Looking at the weekly chart, we got the green arrow, so the gray dot was over here. We had a nice rally off of that point. We had a nice 3-wave move, and then the market came down and made a new low. So this is a complex correction. It's actually in Elliott wave terms, it's a WXYXZ. That's what I'm calling it. And then we rallied off of the gray dot, which is the purple dot on the right on the daily chart. This purple dot started the move up. Again, very, very choppy, and the market sold off. The SPY didn't sell off as much as the QQQs did, but it sold off nonetheless. And now we've moved up, and we are in a very nice 3-wave move corrective price action, which I think will end and then turn around and move back up again. We had the gray dot ready for a sell in the SPY with the red arrow to confirm once price closed below the 12 EMA, which is the filter. So this looks to me like we are in a 3-wave correction down. And unless we have a 5-wave move down, it looks corrective, and that we should find a base and then turn around and move back up, either in another corrective move, 3-wave move, or we could take out this high. Now that's not saying that I'm extremely bullish. I'm just saying that I'm seeing a nice 3-wave pattern, and after we have a 3-wave pattern, we typically turn around and move back up unless this morphs into a 5-wave move. This is a snapshot of the scanner that I showed you in the last video. And what this tells us is when we get the breakout 4 ready, so that would be the gray dot, and when we get the signal, and this is in weeks because this is based on the weekly charts. The signal didn't occur yet on Meta, but Google, the signal occurred 12 weeks ago, Microsoft 15 weeks ago, Amazon 31 weeks ago, and Apple 4 weeks ago. So let's look at the price action. And clearly we haven't rallied massively from these breakout 4 entry points. But let's see what's going on. Let's start with Meta. Last time I did this update, this is where we were. So Meta had already taken off. This is the weekly chart, and we're into the wave here. And on the daily, we had already gone to the tunnel. So let's see what the price action shows as of today. Meta continued to rally, so we were clearly in a momentum trade. This was when we had the strong rally up in the Qs and the S&P that I just showed you. So we had a strong momentum follow through on Meta on the weekly and on the daily. We even gapped higher. But now we are correcting. So I am very happy with this correction. I have the same view on these stocks that I had on the S&P and the QQQs, namely that we are in a corrective mode, and when the correction ends, then we can perhaps move back up again. Whether we take out new highs immediately, that remains to be seen. Maybe we only rally a certain Fibonacci percentage and then come down again. But what I would look for is for Meta to come down to the wave. And I feel comfortable buying when it comes down to the wave. And that could also potentially be when it fills this gap that was left when Meta took off. Now let's move on to the next one. We're going to look at Google now. So this was the original chart that I showed you. And we did get a signal here on Google. We got the gray dot here. So if you were doing a bull call spread below these lows, then you would be okay. I mean, Google basically traded sideways. This is the daily, so Google traded into the tunnel. Now let's look at the price action since that time where I've put the black mark across. We continued past the tunnel. The daily gave us a gray dot to sell, and sure enough, we got the red arrow because price closed below the, over here, price closed below the filter, and then it's continuing to go lower. So looking at the weekly, we had a nice three-wave move up, and now we're coming down. Will we make a new low on Google? I don't know, but this certainly is a three-wave move up. So with Elliott wave analysis, as long as we don't take out the low, we could also have another three-wave corrective move down without making a new low before it turns back up again. On the daily, we have a five-wave move down, so we could have a three-wave move back up and another five-wave move down without taking out the low. So Google isn't ripe and ready to be bought yet. Microsoft, let's have a look at Microsoft. We got the ready 16 weeks ago and the signal 15 weeks ago. And sure enough, we had sideways price action. And when I looked at this before, price was already into the tunnel on the daily. Let's see the price action since that time. So on the daily, this is where we were in January when we did this video. And we traded much higher. We got the gray dot telling us, warning, we could be due for a correction, and wow, we've had a nice, very nice correction. This looks to be like a three-wave, maybe it's a five-wave. I don't think I have all the price action yet, so we are probably due for a nice move up after this massive drop in the last couple of days. Looking at the weekly, it's a nice three-wave move up from the lows. So we could be bottoming soon for this. Whether or not it turns around and makes a new high, that remains to be seen, but we could correct this move down. Now let's look at Amazon. Amazon is a little bit different. We did get the gray dot over here, and Amazon, we got the gray dot, and Amazon did hit some profit targets. It did move higher, and then we made a new low. So now this doesn't qualify as a gray dot. It's turned into the next swing level, which is a purple dot. So let's look at the daily, and this is where we were in January. Let's see what happened since that time until today. So in January, we were here. Again, we had a nice momentum move and price went above the tunnel. This didn't qualify as a sell like it did in some of the other stocks that we just looked at, but we did have a trend line break with the purple arrow down, and we're having a nice corrective move down. So same story here. Once we bottom out and see a green candle or two, then we will correct this move. And whether we make new highs, that remains to be seen, but we will at least correct this move. Finally, Apple. Let's have a look at Apple. So this is where we were in January. We had the gray dot. We had the purple dot on the daily. We went up to the tunnel, but we had a lot more momentum pushing it higher on the weekly and on the daily. We got the gray dot. Now we are seeing a nice sideways three-wave consolidation. And when you have a sideways market, that's kind of bullish to me. So if we can get Apple down to the wave, then that would be considered a nice level to go long, even if it is to move up in another three waves and not take out the new high. So I would be looking to buy Apple close to the daily wave. Now, I thought I would show you Tesla. Tesla has had a buying frenzy. It basically doubled in price from these lows, and I think the market is looking for it to come down. But right now, there's a lot of buying going on. So every time it comes down to the 200 level, there are buyers lined up and it trades back up again. As long as we don't take out these new highs, then we do have the potential to come lower in Tesla as well, maybe into the wave. So I'm looking for that. And then here's NVIDIA. Same story, same pattern, only we had the gray dot on the weekly. We moved up and then we made a new low. We did get another gray dot. We had a very, very strong move up. Very strong move up. We had a nice impulse move and then a correction and then a strong impulsive move higher, and now we are correcting. Would love to see NVIDIA move into the wave to be bought. Our accelerated coaching program for the Wavy Tunnel Pro 2023 5-day accelerated program starts February 26th. Training starts immediately, so as soon as you sign up, you can have access to that. Please go to wavytunnelpro.com or email me if you are interested in seeing our scanner at work. We have it on many different trading platforms. We also have a Get Funded program. It's much better to trade somebody else's money than your own money. So if you'd like to learn more information about that, please send me an email to jody@fxtradersedge.com or support@fxtradersedge.com. Thank you and see you in the next video.